Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Vigo electronic cigarette, which I received from www.njuice.com. Before I start though, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review. My opinion of the product remains true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and show you what's in the box. Okay, so the Vigo comes in a nice presentation box. If you lift up the lid, inside you're going to find a user manual, a soft sort of carrying pouch, and two 1300 milliamp hour manual batteries, and one of them will already have a atomizer cone attached to it. If you take out this section, underneath you're going to find two boxes. One box contains a USB charger and a USB mains adapter. However, the mains adapter appears to be a American style 2-pin plug, so unless you're in America, you're going to need to buy yourself an adapter to be able to actually use it. Now you can get the adapters like down the pound shop for, well, obviously £1, or if you want to save yourself a penny, you can probably find them in the 99p store too. And in this other box here, you do have 5 of these blank 901 low resistance cartomizers. Now, so they are blank, so you are going to need to fill them up with some e-liquid before you actually start using them. And unfortunately, the kit doesn't come with e-liquid, so you will need to get that separately. And also inside this box, which I thought was quite a nice little touch, they also include a metal drip tip. Okay, so like I said, the cartomizers are blank ones which need to be filled. So what I'll do now is I'll just very quickly show you a way to fill up the cartomizers. Okay, so there's a couple of methods you can use to fill up these cartomizers. One method is to remove the rubber bungs, fill up the rubber bung with your e-liquid, and then just sort of very carefully and slowly drop the cartomizer back inside the bung, and then all the e-liquid will get sort of soaked up inside there. But it's a little bit messy sometimes doing it that way. Obviously you get lots of juice all running down the side here. So just to make things a little bit less messy for the video, I'm going to be using another method. All you've got to do is remove those rubber bungs, then remove this little cap. It just pops out. Then you just get your e-liquid and hold the cartomizer at a slight angle and just drip your drops onto the side and let it sort of soak in basically. So I'm just using some 18mg strength menthol ice, which they also kindly sent out to me. I'm at a mess now, that's it. So you just got to sort of drip sort of 3 or 4 drops. Wait a second or two, let it all soak in, and then carry on. And just every now and again, just sort of twist the cartomizer around just to make sure it all soaks in nice and evenly. And these cartomizers hold around sort of, I think it's about sort of 2.5 ml of e-liquid. So obviously when you're doing it this way, it can sort of be quite a time-consuming process. So what I'll do is we'll just skip this part and go straight to the rest of the video. Okay, so now the cartomizer's all filled up with e-liquid. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and assemble it and show you what it actually looks like. Okay, so it's made up of sort of 4 main parts. You have the 1300 milliamp hour manual battery. You then have the atomizer cone, then the low resistance 901 cartomizer, and then finally the drip tip. Okay, so the way I assemble it is I just take the cartomizer and screw that on in place. Like I said, obviously, it's a 901 cartomizer, so it comes with a 901 connection on the actual battery. Then you take your atomizer cone even, slide it over the top, and then finally you insert the drip tip. So that is the fully assembled Vigo. Okay, so looks wise, it obviously looks very similar to all the other sort of style of ones like the the Riva, Egos, Tornadoes, etc, etc. However, it may not sort of come across like this on the camera, but this is considerably longer than like your standard sort of Egos, probably about a good sort of 1.5 inches longer. And it just, I don't think the batteries, I've not got a standard sort of Ego battery to hand to compare, but it does look like it's a little bit thinner, plus obviously longer. So it does very much feel like a pen sort of feel to it. Obviously you've got your manual button here, so every time you want to vape you just press and hold that down. Now the actual button doesn't light up on this model, which I do on most of, well, just about every other model. Instead you have a large sort of LED at the bottom here, which I can hopefully getting the right light so you can see it glows a fairly bright blue colour. Obviously it doesn't come out bright underneath these lights. So okay, so looks wise, it's it's just a fairly nice looking device. It's not going to sort of blow you away, but it's not offensive looking either. Just the standard sort of Ego style electronic cigarette, really. Okay, so let's go and see what it actually vapes like. Okay, so that is the Vigo electronic cigarette. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and actually show you in action. So I'm using obviously the cartomisers that come with the kit, which are 901 low resistance cartomisers, and I've filled it up with some menthol flavoured e-liquid, which is just like a PG based e-liquid, and it's an 18mg strength. And no vapor production on it, is very good actually. Like me personally, I've never been a major fan of like 901 atomizers or 901 cartomizers. I've always much preferred the 510s, but I can't really knock these ones at all. Producing a really nice amount of vapor. And in terms of the flavour, like I said, the kit doesn't come with any e-liquid included, so I can't really sort of talk about the included flavours. But I can tell you though that flavour production in these cartomisers is really good. I'm using like a menthol flavoured e-liquid in there, and it is like quite a strong menthol flavour anyway. But I'm really finding that I'm getting absolutely tons of flavour. Now, I've not used any sort of fruity flavours in these cartomisers, but I have used like tobaccos, because I only really sort of mainly vape sort of tobacco flavours or menthols. And but I can tell you that tobacco flavours as well, producing really tons of flavour. Throat hit wise, getting a nice strong throat hit. I like to do a mouth inhale. We take the vape into your mouth, breathe it down into your lungs, and it gives you that sort of kick in the back of your throat. And I personally find that the higher the nicotine content of the e-liquid, and like the stronger or the harsher the throat hit. And I use 18mg strength, which is what this e-liquid is, and so it's not particularly high, not particularly low. But I'm still getting that really nice strong kick in the back of the throat. Battery life on it, obviously the batteries take a good few hours to sort of fully charge, but they are sort of 1300 milliamp hour batteries, and you are getting plenty of vaping time out of it. One of these batteries is last me sort of about a day and a half, maybe a little bit longer. Obviously that's sort of basing it on how often I vape. I'd class myself as a moderate vapor. Now if you're an exceptionally heavy vapor, somebody you wake up in the morning, you start sort of chain vaping throughout the whole day, and obviously you're not going to get as long a battery life as what I would get. But I would have thought even a really heavy vapor who's really sort of caning it, I would have thought you're still going to get a good day's worth of vaping out of it. In terms of the switch, it works perfectly. You press a button, it activates every time. I don't know if you can actually sort of see that, it's a bit dark, but the light does light up quite a bright blue colour. We've got obviously the lights in here at the moment. It doesn't really sort of show it too well like that. There's obviously no sort of main on-off switch to the actual device. So if you're going to carry it around in your pocket, then you only need to sort of press against something fairly lightly, and it's going to start activating. So if you're going to carry it around in your pocket, it's probably just worth unscrewing the atomizer a couple of turns, and then it's not going to fire up on you. Okay, but in terms of does the switch work? You know, you press a button and it works every time, no problems. No, not a great deal else I can tell you really, so I'll get on to the scores. For the looks, I mean, it looks alright. I mean, like, it's not ugly, but it's not going to win any sort of beauty contests either. Obviously, just a tad too long for my liking. It feels almost like you're going to, you know, start writing an essay with it or something, you know. But again, looks are all going to come down to sort of, you know, personal preference. For the looks, you know, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. For the vapor production, you know, obviously, you know, I judge when I get like starter kits, you know, I judge the vapor on the actual cartomizers or the atomizers that come with the kit, and no, I think the vapor production is, you know, is very good. So I'll quite happily give that I'll quite happily give that a 9 out of 10. Really, I can't really sort of grumble too much about it. For the throw hit, getting a nice strong throw hit, so I'll give that a 8 out of 10. For the battery life, if I can make a battery last me 1 day, then like I'm more than happy with that. So if I can make a battery last me longer than that, then I'm obviously even more happy. Obviously, you know, there are other devices that will give you more battery life, but you know, still I'll give the battery life a 9 out of 10. For the switch, you know, the switch works perfectly. You know, you press a button, it activates. But obviously there's no sort of on-off switch to the actual device, so I'll give that a knock a couple of marks off. So I'll give that an 8 out of 10. Okay, you know, so you know, if you fancy trying one of these out for yourself, go along to www.njuice.com, type in this code at checkout, and they'll give you a 5% discount every time you purchase from them. Thank you very much for watching. Also, come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers, guys. Happy vaping. See you later.